familiar foe visits Athens this afternoon as the Marshall Thundering Herd come to town to take on the Ohio Bobcats. Gabe Genovese alongside Rob Cornelius. Lucy Schaefer joins us as well down on the sideline. We'll hear from her in just a couple minutes. But, Rob, this Marshall team 5-3 this season. This Ohio team coming off a win 2-6. And talking to these coaches beforehand, you kind of just throw the records out the window in this one. It should be a competitive basketball
you really do.
game.
And this is a big war every year. It's a great regional rivalry. About 80 miles down the road to Huntington, and so many ties we'll talk about between this Marshall coaching staff and this Ohio coaching staff. We all know each other really well.
Absolutely. Marshall in the MAC from 97 to 04. We take a look at the series history. Ohio has the edge overall, but it's been Marshall as of late.
Yeah, Marshall, tough game last year, obviously, and they've kind of dominated down the stretch. They've undergone a coaching change from Dan Toney to now Corny Jackson.
Yeah, and you take a look at that last point. Ohio, however, here at home, 4-1 in their last 5 home games against the Thundering Herd. We take a look at our players to watch tonight. We'll start with the road team. Marshall, Matt Van Komen, a big presence down low.
Yeah, he really is legit. He's on his 4th school in his career. He's 7'4", looks huge. Doesn't play big starters minutes. Has had a couple double-doubles this year, but is a guy who can come in and dominate a game in short stretches. Shoots nearly 80% from the field. He is a strong presence inside of 6 feet.
Yeah, Rob's not lying. 79% from the floor. It's crazy. He makes nearly everything down there. Meanwhile, for Ohio, we go to a freshman, J.J. Kelly, who's been stepping up as of late.
Yeah, and he's a blender, and he's going to see him start more and more as the season goes on. Medium-sized guy. You started him this season expecting a lot of his defense. The offense finally starting to come around. That 14 points midweek against Maine, he's done a great job and developed a lot of trust with these coaches. They're willing to play him now anytime, any situation. They've been getting results.
Yeah, those 14 points last time out, a season high for the freshman. Mention Lucy Schaefer. She's the 3rd member of our broadcast crew. Let's send it down to Lucy before we get going.
Yeah, and you guys mentioned it earlier. Although these teams are going to be opponents here in a couple of minutes, the ties run deep for OU and Marshall, specifically on the coaching staff. The individuals on this court know and love each other, and they have for a long time. Marshall head coach Corny Jackson played for the Thundering Herd from 1998 to 2001, where he was formerly coached by current OU head coach Jeff Bowles, who was an assistant at the time. Both spoke on their respect for each other, guys.
A little bit more about the coaches and the familiarity between these two teams in just a few minutes as the starting lineups get announced here inside the combo, as Marshall at 5-3, Ohio at 2-6, and we take a look at our Donwood Automotive keys to the game, Rob.
Yeah, for Marshall, get any stops. And Marshall, if there's a weak spot here, it's defensively. They give a bunch of baskets, lack of efficiency on defense, give them nearly 1.1 points per possession. They got to be tighter with the ball as well, right? They turn the ball over a ton. Another high turnover team in here after Maine midweek. Marshall turns the ball over on 21% of possessions. That's bottom 50 in the country. For Ohio, you got to force their post players, their bigs, out of that post. Get Van Komen, get Frick out of that post, get them in foul trouble, and get there to shoot some free throws. Finally, for Ohio, both these teams want to run, but Ohio's got to run in a controlled way, get high efficiency twos, get out in transition, which they haven't gotten to do a ton the last few home games.
Keys to the game brought to you by Donwood Automotive, and we'll keep an eye on those throughout this one as we take a look at our starting lineups presented by Go-Mart. Go for good times. Go for Go-Mart. You see the 5 for both teams right there, Rob. Not a lot of surprises for either team.
No, really got some pretty regular rotation. Marshall's seen pretty much the same stars all the way throughout. You see that Van Komen all the way to the right there, jumps out at you. 7'4" is a unique height, and that is an older player. That's a guy who played his freshman year in 2020, took an LDS mission trip or 2, and is back now playing for his 4th school. Bryant Fricks also makes the drink stir there. And Jalen Spear, one of the most assist-heavy guards in the country. He turns it over some, but his assist numbers are through the roof.
Meanwhile, you look at the Ohio lineup. What are you kind of looking for today? I know we highlighted J.J. Kelly, but Pavletsky's kind of got to get going as well, right?
Yeah, his offense wasn't there on Wednesday, and that's because Maine was playing a lot of zone and gumming him up, and he wasn't having the freedom to take a lot of those unencumbered twos he normally takes. Kelly played very, very well. Simmons played well. Hadaway's been up and down. He has some great games, and he has some games that aren't great. But you look at this team, the guys coming off the bench, and Dior Connors and Jalen Breath coming off. That's a great 6-7 against a Marshall or any MAC opponent.
I will say, obviously, rebounding always a key for this Ohio team, and Aiden Hadaway coming off the career high, 11 rebounds against Maine. knows how to crash the glass. And
that was a better midweek rebounding as well. Ohio had a rebound advantage throughout the game. They were never behind on it, basically just continued to expand on it, and that's a good sign, a good thing to see when Hadaway and Simmons and Breath are all going in the front court.
Mentioned the series history a few minutes ago in the Open, but you take a look at last year's matchup between these two teams. Marshall 79-70 winners. Ohio just struggled to shoot the ball in the second half of that one.
Yeah, Ohio's had a few bad trips in a row to Huntington. Don't want to do that again anytime soon, but it'll happen. This series is played almost every year, as it should be. These two teams are serving about 80 miles and a little bit of river. We should do this every year. It's a great matchup, a great series, whether Marshall's in the MAC or not.
Here we go. Simmons to jump for Ohio. Bobcats in their home whites. They'll move right to left. Van Komen at 7-4 to jump for Marshall. And their road greens, they'll move left to right here in this first half. Van Komen wins the tip. Simmons a little smile on his face.
How many does he lose? How many tips does Van Komen lose, honestly? We're going to keep that stat better.
I'm going to venture to say it's close to 0% that he loses.
He barely leaves his feet.
Got the ball now on the right block, puts it up, misses short. Hadaway the board, just as we were talking about his career-high 11 rebounds against Maine, and Ohio's first possession the other way.
Yeah, great entry with a quick double by Ohio. If that's going to handle him, that's a good start.
Hadaway takes it in on Van Komen. Back out Sheldon. See what Hadaway can do. Kick out Kelly. Left wing three. Misses off the left iron. Rebound Van Komen.
Yeah, he's warmed up with an early three in a couple of his better games this year. Again, he's trusted to shoot that. Wasn't expecting to be such a great three-point shooter when he got here.
On the other end, a three from Fricks misses short. Offensive board for Van Komen, but the ball out of bounds, and it goes back to Ohio.
Yep, Fricks is he's another piece. He's a 6'10", but takes a lot of his shots from three, nearly half his shots from three. So you're going to see him lift from there and not just be an inside player. If Ohio can get Van Komen or Fricks in foul trouble, that's probably the goal tonight. Put him in harder matchups with quicker guys, smaller guys around the rim on this end.
Fricks leads this Marshall team with 14 points a game. Misfires on his first three of the afternoon. Here's Kelly once again. Pull-up jumper misses short. Knew it right away. Tried to follow it. Instead, the rebound for Caleb Hollenbeck.
Strong with the shot. Really went into the fender with his shoulder.
Spear out high. It's a rolling Van Komen who slams it home. 2-0 Marshall.
Bad switch by Ohio out top. Kelly switched, but no one followed the big man to the basket.
Hadaway to the rim. Lays it in as Simmons kind of shields Van Komen there.
Good look there again. Running some screen plays. Using one big to screen off the other.
A bucket for each team. Just under 2 minutes in. Dump down low Van Komen. Middle of the paint. Right-handed jump hook. No good. Pavletsky the rebound. That's the goal kind of, isn't it, Rob, to force him away from the bucket.
Push him away because he's a little finesse. He's not going to try and go in there and tip dunk on you.
Pavletsky just short. Simmons had position. Tries to throw it off of Ochudy. Instead, Marshall comes the other way.
Good effort by Simmons so far, handling the big man.
Ochudy's layup misses strong. Rebound for Hadaway. And the Bobcats push from right to left.
Marshall a little wild, not getting second looks.
Hadaway, wide open three. Got it. 5-2, Ohio in the lead.
Again, the big man is not going to get out there. Van Komen and Fricks are not necessarily going to go defend somebody at 22. Ohio's going to stretch him out by having their 4 and 5 men available to shoot the three.
On the other end, Hollenbeck wide open for the answer. Misses off the heel. Rebound for Pavletsky and a foul on Fricks before Pavletsky can start the break.
Cheapy and unnecessary. And again, Fricks a guy who gets in foul trouble because he plays big minutes and is a big, often trying to defend smalls. And Hollenbeck, every shot he takes a three. I got to make that clear. Virtually every shot Hollenbeck takes and Dubinsky off the bench are threes.
Hollenbeck has literally shot 4 2-pointers this year.
That's basically what he does. It's something like a 90-95% ratio. But, yeah, nothing but threes from those two guys. Just designated DH. Get off the golf cart, shoot, leave.
Here's Simmons. Hand off Pavletsky. Gets to the paint. Tries to work a shot off. Fades and misses just short. Rebound for Van Komen.
And Van Komen changes everything you do at that end, even if he doesn't touch the ball.
Fricks fades and scores.
Nice runner. That's quality. Just in midair. It's a tough shot. Tough make. They don't come out and pressure the ball out. They don't really want to challenge you. They don't get a lot of takeaways as Marshall.
Hadaway has all 5 for Ohio. Kicks to Simmons. Flirts with 3. Instead gives back to Hadaway, who takes it from the top of the key and misses short.
That wasn't it. He was covered up by Fricks. That was not that open.
Here's Fricks. Misfires on the 3, and Ohio gets it back up by 1.
Yeah, Marshall cold early, 0 for 3 from 3, 2 of 4 from 2. They have a couple makes, but threes have not been close yet, and Ohio staying even a +1 now on the boards.
Marshall 2 for 8 from the floor. Ohio 2 for 7. And no offensive rebounds early for either of these teams as well. It's pretty much one shot and take it the other way. Simmons, kick. Hadaway open again, drills it. Aiden Hadaway with all 8 for the Bobcats. Senior stepping up big early.
That's pretty, and that's game plan. That's Simmons there, sits down low, baits both bigs, Fricks and MVK to both get to him. That means it was an open 4-man to shoot the 3 out high.
Dubinsky in the game for Marshall. Swings to Spear left wing. Dump down low Van Komen. Bounce to a cutting Fricks. Back door, who slams it home.
Good looking baseline runner. Again, you double a big man, you double MVK. Someone's going to be open. MVK finally starting to find his speed passing the ball.
Sheldon gets bumped on his way to the hoop, and that'll bring us to the timeout. 8-6 Ohio over Marshall. Maybe I should say 8-6 Aiden Hadaway over Marshall, as Hadaway has all 8.
All by himself.
Bobcats by 2, just over 4 minutes into the game. We'll be back from Athens. Ohio leads 8-6, 15:23 to go in this first half. Gabe Genovese alongside Rob Cornelius. Lucy Schaefer joins us on the sideline as well this afternoon as you get a look at head coach Jeff Bowles there for Ohio in his 7th season with the Bobcats. 116 wins here at Ohio, a couple of 20-win seasons. I'd say it's been a pretty successful campaign here with Ohio.
Yeah, pretty good run, obviously. An NCAA win back there, played at Indiana over then reigning national champion Virginia.
Meanwhile, Marshall, coached by Corny Jackson in his 2nd season with the Thundering Herd, 25-16 with Marshall in a little over a season. As we heard Lucy talk about it in the open, but these two coaches know each other very, very well. Jeff Bowles was an assistant when Corny played at Marshall back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Steve Snell, an assistant on this Marshall team.
There to the left of the bench, Snell just seated. Corny Jackson, we're seeing him play in high school. Great job out of Bentley Woodrow Wilson down there when they were very Southern West Virginia heavy under head coach Greg White.
Yeah, you see Steve there, not quite on the far left, but on the left of your screen. He coached with Jeff Bowles here at Ohio when Jeff got the job, and then went to NC State, went to a Final Four, now back with Marshall.
And Rob Fulford was at Huntington Prep, and then Akron, worked for John Gross, sitting on that bench as well between them.
Back to play. Sheldon, corner 3, misses strong. Rebound for Hadaway. They left him. Hadaway goes to the bucket and lays it in. The senior with 10 points and 4 boards early, doing it all for the Bobcats.
0 board, 10 points, all for him, 10 straight.
That's the first offensive rebound for either team in this game. First, second chance points. As Spear misses a 3 from the top of the key. And the rebound off of Ohio. It'll stick with Marshall.
Yeah, can't find a bucket. Marshall early, 0 of 4. I think if you're Ohio, you're happy. They've not hit anything big or gone on a run and not gotten second looks as well from the outside.
That's Jalen Breath into the game for Ohio, who guarded the inbound there. Leads to a steal. Bobcats come the other way. Hadaway. Pump fake on a 3. Now decides to take it. Misses strong. Offensive rebound for Breath. Back out Sheldon. Now Pavletsky, and was thinking Elliott was in the corner. Elliott went to cut, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, teams trading turnovers early. Marshall very quickly doubling Hadaway or doubling any Ohio big near the post. And Ohio's just got to quickly pass out. We've got to move the ball against the double or move the ball against the zone to move it.
It's the first turnover on both teams out of that timeout.
5 minutes in, these teams, again, who've been sometimes sloppy with the ball. Marshall certainly more so. Neither one yet today.
Marshall 15 turnovers a game, minus 2.5 in the turnover margin column, as the floater from Harding goes to make it a 2-point game. Meanwhile, Ohio turns it over 12 times a game, about even in that category right now.
Yeah, pretty face up there from Harding.
Sheldon, step back jumper. First Bobcat to score other than Hadaway, and it's 12-8.
Needed that. Needed a good look. He needs to start a little hotter on offense. He's got to up his production for the minutes he's on the floor.
Shooting just 29% from the floor this season.
Yeah, Dubinsky's not going to shoot inside the line. He's going to turn it over.
Turns it over. Sheldon the other way. Stops, hits a trailing Hadaway. Fakes on a three, goes to the bucket. Banks a little strong. Breath had the offensive board, but Marshall takes it away. Thundering Herd from left to right. And that's a foul on Sheldon. Will we get a goaltend as well? We will. And one.
Yeah, didn't need that late ad from Elliott there. Thought he was helping, but honestly, that foul probably should have been called on the floor, but that's a different discussion for a different day. So Ohio double negative there.
I thought the foul should have been.
Yeah, let's get a look at that one.
Well.
Yeah, I mean, the contact, he jumps into him well before the shot, and then Elliott finishes it in goaltending country. The play should have been dead before that. So Sheldon's foul to essentially stop the shot, to stop the breakout, wasted.
Shooting now, 80% free throw shooter. Heads to the line and sinks it. So his first 3 points. Noah Ochudy third on this Marshall team with 12 points a game.
Yep, another Canadian player they brought in out from similar league last year college-wise. About a third of his shots are from three. It's a nice blender piece, very athletic guard.
Paveletsky controls the offense. He's still scoreless, 0 for 2.
Marshall stretching that zone out a little bit, now packing down low.
Breath spins and gets fouled on his way up. The Marshall bench hates the call, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And you see they're going to Harding earlier, a guy that doesn't play a ton, but is another big, because, again, MVK Van Komen is not a guy they're going to play more than about half the game, more than about 22 minutes. He just can't run with him that long. So trying to protect him from fouls. Again, he and Frick have been foul issues over the course of the season.
Breath has struggled from the free throw line this season. 7 for 18. This is the first, make it 7 for 19.
You've seen him have a couple stretches. One of the early home games, one of the Illinois State, like they ran 3 or 4 straight possessions to him. Opposing team just didn't have an answer. So again, if you're going to force feed him a little on offense, he's got to be able to make a few of these. He's going to get fouled a lot. We'll talk about Javen Simmons in terms of getting fouled a lot. He is right now in the top 20 in the country in what we call fouls created. People foul to defend him. He causes 8 fouls a game just by being on the floor, which is insane. And he gets the line a lot. Simmons does, yes. Breath can be that guy, but he's got to make those free throws going forward.
Sinks the second. 13-11, Bobcats by 2. We've stayed close throughout this first half. For the lead, a 3 from Hollenbeck. Misses strong. Offensive board for the Thundering Herd. Shooting would have been wide open for a little step-back jumper, but he lost it.
That started with a bump, though. Dior Connors bumped him. No call, top of the key, and that just disconcerted him. He passed the ball to nobody. He didn't deflect it, but Connors directly caused that turnover.
Ohio with the ball up by 2. Of the 5 on the floor for the Bobcats right now, Breath's free throw is the only point on the floor. Paveletsky turns and hits. He might have hurt me. Ohio leads by 4.
Yeah, creating his own space there. No double early came, so he was free to take the mid-range too. Hits it.
Paveletsky leading scorer with just under 17 a game as Spear goes to the bucket and lays it in.
Yeah, beat Elliott on big first step righty. Got to the rim.
Paveletsky bounces to Breath. Another missed layup, but he'll go to the line for 2 more.
Yep, he'll get that from Ochudy or Hughie. One or the other, but he will get opportunities at the 1-point line all day the way he's playing.
They call it on Hughie. 4th team foul on the Thundering Herd.
Ohio's getting into them a little bit, force them to defend, and again, in the report on the keys to the game before this game, quite simply, Marshall often defends by fouling, and so far you've seen it in pretty good dose here in the first 10 minutes.
Breath makes that free throw. Jesse Burris into the game for Ohio, 6'5" redshirt freshman out of Delaware, Ohio.
Yeah, Delaware Hayes, again, fantastic shooter in practice. Has not hit a ton in games yet, but has a sweet-looking stroke. A little longer guard.
Second free throw clangs off. Another split trip for Breath.
A little long on that one. Ohio, no chance to get back. Gets back to play some defense.
Next whistle will bring us to a timeout. Bobcats by 3, 8 minutes in.
Breath being pretty physical with Van Komen.
Dubinsky pump fakes on a 3, drives and scores high off the glass. Tough shot.
And a rare drive. He's basically a 3-point catch and shoot guy only. Impressive there.
Here's Elliott. Burris, deep left wing three, misses long. And the ball ended up out of bounds. So
Yeah, Connors couldn't save it.
Connors can't save it, and that leads to the timeout. 16-15, Bobcats by one. Marshall's made 4 of their last 5 shots to stay in this one. We've got a good one here in Athens early. 16-15, Bobcats with the lead. We'll be back from the combo. 11:31 to go in this first half. Bobcats 16, Thundering Herd 15. It's been all Aiden Hadaway for Ohio, Rob.
Yeah, a couple makes from 2, an early drive to the basket, a couple makes from 3, a combined 4 of 7, and there's a long one on his way to 10 early points. Maybe the most efficient 5 or 6 minutes in the history of Ohio basketball. He's hit everything, didn't make any mistakes, no turns, no fouls. Built Ohio to a little bit of a lead, which they still barely hold at 16-15, and an O board. You love that. That makes Jeff Bull's heart grow 3 sizes.
3 sizes, huh?
It's the holiday season, but yeah, at least 3. Dude loves an O board, and especially an O board into a score.
Here he is back on the floor now, sat for a couple minutes there.
Again, he builds his confidence when he opens a game like that. Maybe he'll be a little overconfident from time to time, but he's going to get shots, and Ohio needs someone who's going to be a shot taker and a shot maker, and he's hot so far early tonight.
Chatted with Hadaway earlier this week, and just about his growth here at Ohio. Yeah. He's proud that he's been here in Athens all 4 years of his career.
He loves this place. He loves the experience. He loves the people that help kind of raise him in basketball here with Jeff Bowles and his whole staff that's been pretty much the same his entire stay.
Spear high on the left. Marshall can take a lead. Haven't had a lead since 2-0. Hollenbeck, right corner 3, pinball's out. Rebound in the hands of Dubinsky, back to Spear. Thought about a 3, instead Dubinsky drives, misses his floater strong. There's Hadaway with his 5th board, and Ohio's going to run.
Got to cover up Hollenbeck every time. He's catch and shoot, that's all he's going to do.
Simmons beat Van Komen down on the block, ended up missing the layup, but a jump ball called. It sticks with Ohio.
Yeah, late double came from Fricks there. Could have been a foul from behind, but officials not going to get him in any more foul trouble early. Simmons waited just a hair too long. Probably should have just gone straight up against MVK.
And you can kind of tell it takes some adjusting. You kind of maybe overthink how you want to finish over the big fella.
He changes everything you do. He delays in your mind how soon you're going to go up, whether you're going to try to deke him, get him to move first, jump first, get off his feet. But he's still 7'4". If he doesn't get off his feet, it doesn't necessarily matter. He can still block you. He gets blocks on 10% of shots attempted while he's on the floor. 10%. Hasn't had one yet tonight.
It's crazy. Yep. 18 blocks this season leads the way for Marshall.
Changes everything. And he's an old man in basketball terms. Like I said, he was a freshman in 2020.
Elliott, there's the block. Elliott gets to the rim. Van Komen blocks him from behind. Komen runs the floor now. Did Simmons draw the charge? Yes, he did.
Sure did. Set up perfectly on the front edge of the semicircle. Van Komen got a little dribble happy, took 2 big, long, loping strides, and Simmons was parked right there, and he cannot stop the momentum. It's a foul. It's a turnover.
Yeah, he was there. My only question was he outside their restricted circle?
I think his heel was just off that semicircle, but again, Simmons playing smart tonight. He got coached really hard in the scout because how you deal with this big man. They're 2 big men if you can count Fricks. Incredibly important.
Simmons a couple of assists and a rebound early. No points. Sheldon bounce to Hadaway. Backs down on Fricks. Now finds Pavletsky.
Getting deep in a shot clock. Really the first time today that's happened.
3 on the timer. Does Hadaway realize it? Fades and didn't hit anything. Shot clock violation.
He's going to want to push underneath on 15 there on Hollenbeck, but it was a little late. Ohio dribbled themselves pretty much out of a possession there.
Bobcats 0 for their last 4, haven't scored in a little under 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, just a second Ohio turnover. A little bit of pressure up top here.
All right, Bobcat fans, we got 2 stops in a row. Hey, let's bring the juice.
Oh, shooting. Hits a rolling Van Komen. Fouled on his way up. He'll go to the line for 2.
Down low from Sheldon, I think, who tried to stay with him underneath and kind of dog him. Tried to deny the pass.
So Van Komen goes to the line for 2. Yeah, just got him on the arm.
Yeah, Kelly back there to close. Thought he had a shot at Black. And Kelly's, again, athletic and has a bigger jump, bigger vertical for his size than you would expect. He almost saves it back there.
Van Komen, first free throw, rattles out. He's now 11 for 17 at the line.
And that foul on Sheldon, his second, really the only Ohio player with any fouls so far.
The big fella fires again and hits. We're tied at 16. A little over midway through this first half.
And that's a guy who shoots essentially 80% from the field, 70% from the line. I love that.
Tell Simmons thought about the jumper, instead drives and gets fouled on his way up. And there's the second foul on Van Komen.
Went right at him. Didn't get any help from the backside, the weak side. Thought Fricks might be coming over. Instead, his dribble drive short on Van Komen. And my guess is his time is short in the first half. Yeah, switches lefty, beats him one dribble. Yeah, Fricks no help weak side, and Van Komen stuck there. Simmons goes to the line, but that's important. You're getting Van Komen off the floor, off the ice for later.
First free throw, good from Simmons. And again, just kind of a smart decision from Simmons. Thought about the jumper, but did the smart thing to attack the big fella, force that second foul.
And that's the thing about Simmons. Like we said, he causes other teams, other players to foul. He draws fouls. And that's part of the beauty of his game, what he does.
Makes both. Ohio by 2, 18-16.
Breaks the tie. We're on an 80-point pace, but it doesn't really feel like it. No one's really gotten out and run in this game yet.
Ochuti bounces to Harding. Give Dubinsky. Fires a three. Misses long. Offensive board for Harding and a stick back to tie it.
You can make case Harding's been as effective as MVK tonight. He's looked good down low.
Sheldon still out there with two fouls. They work it around to Simmons. Pavletsky, step back jumper. 20-18, Bobcats by 2.
Gets a little matchup. Big man steps back off of him. He hits a mid-range baseliner there.
First field goal in a little under 4 minutes for Ohio. They had gone cold. Luckily, the defense has stepped up for the Bobcats. Never gave up the lead. Fricks turns. Misses everything long. Rebound Hadaway working on a double-double already. 10.6 boards. Kelly, sidestep, lays it in.
Big time run out. Ohio's first pick six, kind of coast-to-coast look where Ohio moves with speed.
Ochuti hits a rolling Harding. Lays it in. You said it. Harding has been more effective than Van Komen. He's got 6 points on 3 of 3 shooting.
Probably wasn't scouted as hard. Was not considered the big threat that Fricks and MVK are. He's doing great.
Simmons backs down on Fricks. Spins and travel.
Got in the crowd.
7:49 to go first half. Bobcats by 2, 22-20. Hadaway grabs a board. Finds the freshman. Kelly, sidestep, layup. Ohio by 2.
Loops it around, goes across his face.
Bobcats by 2, 22-20. 7:49 to play in this first half, but it's been Eric Harding keeping Marshall in the game, Rob. Couple of nice buckets down low.
Yeah, nice surprise. Again, with some of the other Marshall bigs off the floor, they're going to double off of Harding. Harding's been the recipient of offensive boards there, the ability to put it back. He has 3 makes, 6 points in 4 minutes. Super high efficiency and getting value. Ohio's going to box out, whether it's the big famous guy from the front of the program or players 7, 8, 9, or 10.
Points in the paint plus 10 for the Thundering Herd, obviously a key in this one. And despite Marshall being 0 for 7 from beyond the arc, they're dominating down low.
You subtract that makes Marshall 9 of 14 from 2, which is really good, about 63, 64%. Ohio's got to get that number down closer to 50 to survive in this one. You cannot let their bigs have their way, even if the threes aren't dropping. Eventually, they'll hit a few.
Bobcats just 2 of 7 from beyond the arc, but those couple of threes, the difference in this one right now.
Yeah, watch that shot before that Jalen Breath matchup. This time he's going to try to be on Harding, it looks like.
5 on the floor for Ohio. Kelly, Elliott, Hadaway, Pavletsky, and Breath. Lob to Fricks. He somehow got it up, missed the layup, Breath the board, and a foul.
I think Hadaway may have gotten a hand on that pass as it crossed through the lane up high. Deflected it just slightly. That's why that tee up to Fricks on the backside didn't happen.
It's Fricks, Dubinsky, Harding, Hollenbeck, and Spear, the 5 on the floor for the Thundering Herd. And now Ohio in the 1-1 the rest of the way, but Jalen Breath, who is just 2 for 4 at the line and not a good free throw shooter this season. A key free throw here and hits it.
There you go. And that's now a second foul on Harding. If you're counting fouls on Marshall Biggs, and I don't think they're going to run out of guys, but 2 on Harding, who've been hot all of a sudden, is a big move.
Breath bends his knees and gets the friendly home roll on the second.
He's going to shoot a lot of free throws if he wants to this year. He's getting better.
Ohio by 4. And Rob, this match is the largest lead. We've
it
been
really
within.
Does. This is no one's developed any separation. That's what's saying. This game has not had a bunch of speed, a bunch of end-to-end transition. No one's separated by more than a possession.
Been within 2 possessions the entire game as Dubinsky misfires on the jumper.
Dubinsky's taken more twos tonight than I think he has all season. I'm not kidding.
Elliott finds Hadaway. Play a little 1-2 game. Bounce down low to Breath. Attacks Harding. Spins. And lost it on the way up.
It feels like Ohio's offense is prepared when MVK's out there, and when he's not, they're not sure what to do against the little shorter group for Marshall.
Spear stops, pops. Jumper. This is short.
Not much out of Spear so far, just a couple attempts.
Breath spins baseline. Works on Harding. Goes up and misses the lamp, but a foul, and
that's 3.
That's 3.
And just as quickly as Harding got 3 baskets, he now has 3 fouls, and my guess is he will take a walk.
And you said it, it's not like they're going to run out of guys, but they're going to kind of have to play.
Manage.
They're going to have to manage both of them now.
Yeah.
Van Komen and Harding. Breath free throw, sinks the first.
Yeah, or go a little smaller. And again, Fricks is the other guy, but he's so key to the offense. He just has 1 foul, but they need him to not be in foul trouble at all.
And that's what they're going to do. They'll go a smidge smaller. Drew Fuquay comes in the game for Marshall at 6'8". Harding 6'10", Van Komen 7'4". They're both on the bench.
So Ohio's exerted their will to some extent by forcing Marshall to change personnel, so that's been successful.
Spear drives, blocked by Hadaway. The defense from the senior stepping up. Shamari Hugie in the game for the first time. Bounce down low to Fuquay. Spins on Breath, and they call him for a foul.
Yeah, he got too far into the basket there and had to kind of go up behind his head and try and reverse it a little. Kind of surprised he got bailed out with a foul call there, but they will get Breath. I really like Breath. The numbers for him coming in from UNC Greensboro say he's a great defensive rebounder. Just got to figure out where he fits and with whom he can be on the floor.
First free throw, pinballs out from Fuquay. Now 3 for 5 from the line this season. Marshall's missed their last 4 shots. They haven't scored in over 2 minutes.
And that's rare. This is a team that wants to play at 80, score a lot of points.
Second free throw, rattles in.
Every part of the rim and backboard needed there.
Pavletsky's been quiet. 4 points on 2 of 4 shooting in this first half. Gets it back up top.
There you go. Simmons had a chance if he had turned just a little quicker.
Instead, he takes his time, goes in, and misses the bunny short.
Yeah, kind of switched hands with it very, very late.
Hugie works on Hadaway. Kick out Dubinsky.
Ohio doing a better job keeping him out of the lane right now.
Hugie, deep 3. Got it. Marshall back within 1. Hugie was 0 for 2 from 3 before that shot.
Yeah, a little bit of screen help out there, but Ohio didn't go over it.
Pavletsky responds. Ohio by 4, under 5 minutes to play first half.
Most of his threes are on the left side of the court as they're facing the basket. That was right there where he likes it.
Elliott picks off the inbound to Kelly, and he lays it up and home. Bobcats by 6 as Elijah Elliott makes a heads-up play.
Essentially a transition basket off the steal. Marshall doesn't call a timeout. Second time, I'm a little surprised by that.
Spear got kicked up top as Elliott went in the air. Is the foul?
I think it's on Simmons late. We'll see. He drove it on Simmons. I thought it was going on Simmons. No, it's Elliott. You're right.
And Elliott goes over and kind of taps Spear on the shoulder. Will they take a look at this one?
Yeah, they're going to look at him, not for too long. Great transition look there. Essentially, that turnover becomes transition points. And Kelly's just a closer. Kelly's just a finisher around the net, and right there he finishes.
4 points, 2 of 4 shooting for Kelly in this first half.
Simmons gets a little chat there about defending there, and he was in late. I feared he had a foul coming had Elliott not gotten to the ball carrier first.
And they're looking at this one. Jeff Bowles was confused why they went to the monitor here.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see Elliott in midair. What exactly happened there? Yeah, drive coming right at the head on there. Yeah, Elliott literally jumped up and made a giant X for himself, and his ankle. Okay, the guard Spear ducked down, but his ankle got basically neck high on Spear. Not intentional, obviously. I'm trying to kick a guy in the face, but that had a real Karate Kid appeal, as his foot just kind of very softly wraps around his chin there. No one's bleeding. Everybody's fine. But that's playing defense in like 3 dimensions. Elijah Elliott made himself ginormous. Made his wingspan huge by doing that. Regular foul. Common foul. They announced. But again, his athleticism. There was a stretch last year where he was trying to dunk everything. For about 2 weeks, he thought he was Superman. That was a good thing at the time. Middle of the conference season.
Yeah.
And I want to see that again. I want to see him totally healthy where he's like that again.
He's been dealing with a little bit of a back injury.
For a young guy, that hurts, yeah.
And no call. Someone hit the glass.
On the way by, I think it was Simmons, but Ohio creating transition out of nothing.
Kelly explores the baseline. Reverse layup. Got it. You said it a minute ago. He's a finisher, and he's finished near the rim 3 times.
Confident. And finally, the timeout comes out of the pocket of Corny Jackson.
Largest lead of the late afternoon here in Athens. Ohio by 8, 32-24. Kelly's fired up in that Ohio huddle. And that'll bring us to the media timeout. We'll take it as well.
Looks good. 7 straight for Ohio. Big run. Force the timeout. Get a little energy into this building, Gabe.
Bobcats made 4 of their last 5. They lead by 8 here in Athens. Ohio by 8, 32-24 over Marshall. 4:17 to play in this first half. We haven't heard from Lucy Schaefer in a while. Lucy, what you got down there?
Yeah, you guys mentioned earlier about how Ohio's first offensive rebound, or the first offensive rebound in the entire game, was nearly 5 minutes in with Aiden Hadaway. Now, Ohio has 15 rebounds right now, and ahead of Maine's game on Wednesday, Coach Bowles talked to us about the importance of that control. The Bobcats out-rebounded Maine 44-28, one of the main reasons they walked away with that second win of the season. For this team, the emphasis is placed on continuing to do those things right and outplay their opponent in every category.
Thanks, Lucy. Yeah, right now, Marshall +1 on the boards, but again, for a Marshall team that has Van Komen at 7'4" and Harding near 7 foot, I think Ohio will take kind of even in that category.
Well, again, you've gotten Van Komen's minutes cut. Harding now in foul trouble. Fricks has played 11, but he's off his pace as well. And their rebounds are all spread. Ohio's rebounds dominate, obviously, by Hadaway, who's having a solid game tonight. 10.7 boards early in just 14 minutes. Efficiency off the scale.
Bobcats on a 7-0 spurt over the last 44 seconds, Rob. We haven't seen, you mentioned it a few minutes ago, we haven't really seen either team get out and run a lot. Ohio did on a couple of
Ohio's had the advantage of a couple turnovers, essentially what I call the neutral zone. I use a lot of hockey terminology. They've had flips in the middle of this court and then gotten points out of it very, very quickly. It hasn't been end-to-end, hasn't been a lot of, pick-6 turnover stuff, but Ohio's won the balls in the neutral zone and got them in the north end zone, into the north net pretty quickly.
Marshall ball out of the timeout. A little over 4 minutes to go in this first half.
Marshall just seems tentative.
And Ohio goes maybe a little zone out of the timeout as well.
Yep, that'll move him out just a little bit.
Schutte gets in the middle of that zone and scores.
But if you play in zone, you got to crowd and stop that. Guy cannot get down inside the MAC logo.
Pavletsky hits a trailing Hadaway.
Some more movement. Can't just be ISO to Simmons. Well,
Simmons. Simmons takes contact and finishes.
Drives it, gets down to the paint there, and Marshall's guys talking to each other. Just drives and goes in on Fricks, and again, that's now another foul, second foul on Fricks, their other big. I know he plays more of a 4 spot, less than the big man Van Komen, but they got to have him stay on the floor. He's a guy that wants to play 30, 31 minutes.
Simmons 2 for 2 at the line today. Make it 3 for 3. Finishes the old-fashioned three-point play. Bobcats' largest lead now of 9. 35-26. Under 4 minutes to play. Feels like a critical 4 minutes here, Rob.
No, it really, really is. And again, extend this thing. Get this lead out to 3 or more possessions. Keep pushing on it.
Fricks, little floater, misses strong. He's just off today.
He really is. He's really not been himself. Again, that Wilmington game, you had a couple guys. He was one of the ones fouling out or in foul trouble the whole game.
Simmons leads in and got it again.
And he knows he can drive that, and he's happy, and he talks to the band. Look, he understands Fricks is playing with foul trouble. He's going to push him around down there. Marshall bench losing its mind. It doesn't matter. Simmons can brutalize him right now because he cannot defend or he's going to get called for fouls.
It's now 7 points for Simmons. Bobcats on a 12-2 run in under 2 minutes.
Yep, Simmons standing on the gas now. Make just moments ago, +1. Now an attempt for another +1.
So that's now the 3 guys at 6'10 or taller in foul trouble for Marshall.
12 to the run. Yeah, unofficially, 13 to the run for Ohio.
Ohio by 12. They continue to extend their largest lead of the game. Bounce to Hugie, who finishes underneath. It's a 10-point game.
Simmons lucky he didn't get called for bumping the ball carrier out of bounds on inline.
Paveletzky puts on the brakes, picks up his dribble, finds Hadaway. Corner 3, misses strong. Offensive rebound for Kelly. Tries to split defenders, bounces to Simmons. And we get a whistle.
Push on Ohio.
Offensive foul on Kelly.
Foul. I think so.
Yep.
Simmons and Kelly were in the vicinity. They will get Kelly. Too much help. Will just be his first foul.
It's just the 4th team foul on Ohio. And a turnover.
Yep, they let him too far underneath there. Oshuti got the ball, had Elliott on his hip, but just could not control the thing. Was too far in the basket, loses it, and Ohio gets a free touch. This game ticking down. Ohio looking to rebuild this lead again. Limited turnovers, too. That's the other thing in this half.
Hadaway dumped down low Simmons. Good pass. Paveletzky in the corner. Offensive foul.
Push away from the ball again.
They get Simmons this time, so back-to-back possessions. Ohio gives it away. Still a 10-point lead, 2:20 to play first half.
Yeah, the difference for Ohio on those 2 offensive fouls, you hate them, you hate the turnovers, but Kelly and Simmons is their first foul there. It was a perfect tee-up. That was Paveletzky, left corner, which is his preferred three-point shooting spot. It's the short 3, and he's best from that spot.
Joseph drives, lost it, and out off of off of Hadaway.
And you see Marshall operating. Fricks is out there, but again, it's just their best offensive players are not necessarily all playing into play together at all.
Good roll. Frick slams it home, 38-30.
And once he's got you beat, you just let him go. Marshall with a couple in a row. There's that double.
Elliott thought about a 3, instead gives back to Paveletzky, and Paveletzky gets taken down low. And
essentially fouled twice, once up high and then falls over Joseph as he goes to the floor.
Senior will go to the line for 2.
Yeah, driving there. Yeah, Joseph goes down, then essentially Paveletzky tries to continue and get the shot, get the +1, and lands on Joseph, who's undercut him there. Not intentional, but just it's almost more like your skates getting taken out and going down on your side in hockey, just losing your edge.
First free throw rattles in for Paveletzky, 75% free throw shooter.
And again, that's Marshall going into their bench. That's a freshman guard playing in a tight time late first half you wouldn't normally see in big minutes.
Second one up and good. Lead back to 10. Paveletzky's got a quiet 9 points in this first half.
He really does. Doesn't feel like he's been dominant or he's had he's not been ball heavy today. He's not been holding the ball a ton today.
Very balanced attack for Ohio thus far. 10 for Hadaway, 9 for Pawelski, 8 for Simmons, and 6 for Kelly.
Those Hadaway points seemingly were all early.
Ochuti, step back, elbow jumper, short. Rebound Hadaway, 1 rebound away from a double-double in this first half.
Good start.
Pawelski. It's a rolling breath. Lost it. Got it back.
Yeah, tried to run screen roll with breath. Try it again, maybe. A little crowded over there.
Pav loses it. Marshall comes the other way. Hugie. Stutter step.
I should have extended this more. 3 late turnovers.
And a layup by Ochuti to get it to 8. Timeout, Jeff Bowles.
Yeah, he's not happy. He probably should, again, maybe could have called it a hair sooner as well, but does not want to see this thing get back under 3 possessions. Ohio's trying to give it back here this final minute and a half. Some turns, some fouls, just not scoring the ball late.
Ohio, it's one of those instances where Ohio's made 5 of their last 6, but they haven't made a shot in just under 3 minutes.
They've been defending some. They've not made one in a while. Not gotten in line a bit. And again, in that span, Pav has gotten the line. They've committed 3 turnovers, a couple fouls to go with it, and just kind of gone to sleep in their sets.
A few turnovers, a couple of offensive fouls.
Marshall just wants this thing to stabilize and be, within 2 possessions at the half here, not get buried. And Ohio could have done that. Ohio had this thing out to 12 moments ago and had a couple bad possessions in a row.
It's 38-26 Ohio. So Marshall with 6 of the last 8 points.
Yeah, Marshall just wants a re-rack, kind of a reset out of this halftime, where the foul trouble again is going to matter less, with it being less of it as the second half starts. There's all concentrated in their bigs. Ohio only has 5 fouls in the game, period.
About a 2.5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Marshall's also gone to a little bit of this zone as Pawelski gets in and gets rejected by Fuqua.
Got tight in there real fast.
Fuqua, did he walk? No. Banks
Maybe.
and scores. 6-point game.
Turns into a transition bucket there effectively with Fuqua.
Elliott to the rim. Misses the layup, and that'll be the half. And Aiden Hadaway talking to the official right away once that horn ended. He walked down there, but Marshall ends the half making 4 of their last 5.
Yeah, 6-2 to close. That might have happened, but for Ohio, you got out of the gas, and you're back in a 2-possession game.
Ohio didn't make a shot in the final 3:18 since extending their lead to 12. Marshall cuts it in half, gets it back to 6 at the break here in Athens. Ohio 40, Marshall 34, our score at the break. Gabe Genovese alongside Rob Cornelius, Lucy Schaefer, our 3rd member of our broadcast crew this afternoon as we turn evening here in Athens. And Rob, Ohio really played a great half till those final few minutes.
Yeah, Aiden Hadaway opened this thing hot, big time. Had the ball at his points very early, had Ohio's first 7, maybe the first 10. And then Ohio kind of expanded that lead, got this thing out to double figures, and you thought it might be going a little further. But Marshall, frankly, some of their best offensive players off the floor, counterpunch. Jackson Pawelski hit a 3, and then really wasn't heard from again as Marshall finally got things working. Some of their best players off the floor, doesn't matter. MVK there early on. But again, later, Marshall with foul trouble still operated. Wyatt Fricks gets to the rim. A little soft stuff from outside. Van Komen again early. But Van Komen didn't play a lot. He got early foul trouble. All 3 of their bigs had some foul trouble. But somehow they managed in the final 4 minutes to go on a run, 8-2, before we end up with this 40-34 Ohio lead. Ohio leads by 2 possessions, but into the first half with a whimper, I think so, Gabe.
Absolutely. Again, balanced attack for Ohio as you see the Ochuti layup there. Ochuti leads Marshall with 7 points in the first half. So take a look at our halftime stats presented by Surfside. And it's a balanced attack for both these teams, Rob, but no one on Marshall never really really got going in that first half.
No, they never really did. And they rely on hitting threes, maybe even more so than Ohio. So they were 1 of 8 from there, which means they are 14 of 26, still over 50% from 2, which is pretty successful. Ohio got the line a ton. I think Ohio mostly likes the whistle they're getting, has gotten the line a bunch. Marshall has not. Marshall's been more perimeter-oriented, and Ohio's used that to get to an advantage now. 2 possessions, but again, they led this thing by 4 possessions, only by 12 moments ago.
Yeah, 12-point lead cut to 6. Marshall just 1 for 8 from 3. Ohio hit a couple of early. They're just 3 for 9. There are your halftime stats presented by Surfside. Surfside iced tea and lemonade. 100 calories, 0 bubbles. Sunshine in a can. Bobcats 40, Thundering Herd 34. Our halftime coverage continues next on ESPN+. Halftime inside the convo. Ohio 40, Marshall 34. Our score, you see it right there. Bobcats led by as many as 12. It's been cut to 6 at the half. Good basketball game going on right now here in Athens. Take a look at our conference standings presented by Conn's Potato Chips. And obviously this is all non-conference, Rob, but Akron was picked to win the MAC this year. Miami, Kent State, and Ohio rounded out 2, 3, and 4. Buffalo and Miami and Kent State all having strong non-conference.
Well, Akron up 8 at the half over Tulane right now. Buffalo's actually just fell to 8-1, lost to Bonaventure last hour, and Toledo a loser today. So again, the good thing is the out-of-conference record is going to matter 0 in terms of who gets to Cleveland and in what order. So Ohio can fix this issue over the next few weeks, obviously with some conference games here in December and then moving forward.
Absolutely, and strength of schedule matters
Correct.
As well. Ohio
Yes.
has the toughest strength of schedule right now.
By far. I mean, in this league, obviously, you play St. Mary's, you play Louisville, you play some of these teams. Regardless of the result, it's going to improve you for 1 week in March in Cleveland.
Yeah, toughest in the Mid-American Conference. Meanwhile, we take a look at the Sun Belt. James Madison tabbed to win that conference. Arkansas State, South Alabama, Troy round out the top 4. However, I will say there were 8 teams that received a first-place vote in that conference. Very competitive
That's
conference.
correct. And Ohio's already played Arkansas State, who brought in legit a whole new roster of coaches, 15 new dudes, came in here and beat Ohio in the opener, and looks pretty good. I like a lot of what we saw from Arkansas State.
South Alabama, you see right there, 8-2 in conference play. There are your standings, your conference standings, presented by Conn's Potato Chips. Still fresh and delicious after all these years. Halftime here in Athens. Bobcats by 6. Second half coming up in just a few moments on ESPN+. Halftime wrapping up here in Athens. Bobcats lead by 6, 40-34. Obviously, we're focused on the basketball game, and here it's Champ Week on the gridiron, and a lot of good action, Rob.
Yeah, Texas Tech early on over BYU gets that job done. Western Michigan, surprise, doubles their win estimate, goes and wins the MAC title, beats Miami easily earlier today. Georgia up 14-love early on Bama, Duke and Virginia later, Indiana and Ohio State later, and North Dakota State loses in round 1 of the FCS tournament. That never happens.
Yeah, oh my. You see the highlight right there. If Duke were to somehow win, JMU would be in. Virginia, obviously, supposed to win that ACC championship game, and the top 2 teams in the country rounded out tonight at 8 o'clock in the Big Ten championship game. Should be a fun night of college football. Real quick, also want to highlight our producer today, Harrison Warren. It's his last game. Get a look at him in the truck. Hey, Harrison. He's worked over 100 productions with us, so appreciate all his work and everything he's done and his time here at Ohio. Grant Stevens down there running a camera as well for us today. I believe he's on camera 4 today. It's his last game. There we go. Getting ready to shoot Lucy Schaefer. Grant gives the camera a
Reps
smile.
make us better, man. Reps make us all better.
He's worked over 50 productions, so appreciate those guys for all their work as they get set to graduate here from Ohio University. We saw Lucy in that shot as well. She talked to both coaches. Let's send it down to Lucy Schaefer before we get going.
And for Marshall, Coach Corny Jackson talked about how important it was to come out of this first half and halftime with a lot more energy and a lot more urgency. And for Coach Bowles, the key was talking about communicating better on defense specifically and in transition. That'll be the key to Ohio holding on to their lead, and with Marshall hopefully coming back for them.
Yep, thanks, Lucy. I can't argue with either of those points, as Marshall kind of came out a little flat in this one.
Yep. Missed a bunch of threes early, 0 for 7 early, finally hit one late in the first half. Again, this game's been pretty square in rebounding, pretty square on turnovers. Ohio's just been flat out more efficient and gotten to the line a ton. Marshall has fouled a bunch to defend, and it's helped Ohio.
Meanwhile, for Ohio, you could tell Bulls didn't quite like the intensity in those last few minutes.
No,
of the first
last
half.
2 minutes were not good. Cut the lead in half and lost an 8-2 run. Marshall closed on an 8-2 run in the half.
Out of the halftime break, 3 left wing short from Spear. Sheldon pushes the pace for Ohio.
They have not gotten much out of Spear today. 1 of 6 shooting, has not been the ball dominant scorer and leader he normally is.
Marshall going to stick with a little bit of a matchup zone here. Hadaway a 3, and that'll get you out of the zone.
Bunch of space for Hadaway. He's hit enough early on where I think you have to cover him.
13 points, 9 boards for Hadaway. Had 10 in the first, what seemed like 5-6 minutes of this game as Spear misfires once again. And rebound off of Marshall. It'll be Ohio ball.
Yeah, good deflection. Marshall got the board, then Pav tipped it essentially off the Marshall player. I think it was Hollenbeck who rebounded it and went off of him on the way off that inline.
Ohio with it up by 9 now. Simmons down low.
An entry, no double to him quickly. Finally.
It's Hadaway cutting, and he rocks the rim. Bobcats by 11.
Slow double came to the ball. Hadaway allowed to advance in the basket, essentially drive and be almost a tip dunker there. Just catch and put it in.
Fricks, top of the key 3, drills it. Marshall back within 8. Fricks 9 points on 4 of 9 shooting. He's made his last couple.
You know, he can explode. He had 34 against Elon earlier this season. He's a guy who can give you 25 or 30 pretty easily. Not yet.
Hadaway, bang! 48-37. Hadaway doing the same thing he did to start the game.
He really is closing in on 20 points. And the important thing is, he's putting that on the tape. You have to cover him from 3 all year. It changes how you treat him.
Ochudy responds with a 3. It's raining threes here in Athens.
Lid is off that thing right now at both ends.
And when I say Hadaway's doing the same thing he did to start the game, I mean it literally.
Yeah,
He had the first 10 points for Ohio, and now here in the second half, he's got the first 8 points as Simmons walks.
Yeah, let's let's Van Komen work him into that. Not real busy with his hands, but Simmons got too busy with his feet and unforced turnover for the most part. Van Komen's not a guy who's just going to grip and steal the ball away from you, even if he's standing on your toes.
Van Komen underneath. Working on Simmons. Good defense by Simmons. Worked him away from the bucket, but didn't grab the board, and it leads to the second chance opportunity.
Soft hook, but got it back himself and smartly made the pass toward the basket. Just lead the shooter.
Pavletsky in the paint. Spins, lost his footing. Now Sheldon. No call. Kelly rejected by Van Komen, his second block.
And he came all the way out 20 feet to block that. I'm shocked by that.
Hollenbeck got it. Marshall back within 3. Timeout, Ohio. And the thundering Herd bench erupts.
That's 11 straight for Marshall on 3 threes and a 2. And Hollenbeck, all he does is shoot threes. That's what can make Jeff Bowles maddest. In his scout, Hollenbeck's a guy you absolutely have to stand on his toes. He can't do that.
Van Komen, the rejection. It leads to the transition 3. Marshall back within 3.
Yep, Ohio didn't square, didn't grab the three-point shooter.
Ohio's lead is 3. Largest lead was 12 in the first half, and Marshall's come out on fire out of that locker room, Rob.
Yeah, they opened the game 0 for 7 from 3. Instead, they stick the landing here, hit 3 in a row from all over the court. Fricks, Ochudy backs off, beats Kelly. And then one more, Ohio. The one guy in the scout you had to stand on his toes was Hollenbeck, and they were late there. That's Hadaway on him getting out there, and that's part of a big, big run. We'll go downstairs.
There, as the timeout was called, Bowles was telling his team how important that urgency was, which was exactly head coach Corny Jackson's message to his team. Marshall really turning it around here early.
Yeah, Lucy, you said it. Corning talked about it coming out of the half, the urgency we saw it.
Yeah, gave back an 8-2 run in the first half, and now it's taking a big, big punch to the face, that 8-0, 11-3 Marshall run here early second half.
And Rob, you've talked about it. I mean, we've talked about it all throughout this game, but the importance of getting Van Komen and Harding off the floor in the first half.
You executed a big part of your scout in the first half beautifully.
Now you're trying to do the same thing here in the second. Kelly left open and drills the three. The freshman with 9 points today.
They're willing to let him shoot that shot, and for Ohio, that may be a very good thing. Nobody rushes to hit Ohio's three-man.
Spear.
They're bringing Hadaway to Spear a lot. Spear's having a tough night, partly because he's being covered by bigger Ohio players in a lot of these. But Spear is the one guy in Marshall who's not gotten it going pretty much at all. 1 for 7 now.
He's second on this Marshall team in points with 13 a game. He leads the team in assists with 6 a game. Today, 2 points, 2 assists.
Yeah, and was one of the great assist rate guys in the country. I know it's a nerd stat, but like he does really good work as a point guard, and it's not visible today.
Fricks to the bucket, takes contact and finishes. Wyatt Fricks with 13 points all of a sudden, and Marshall's back within 4.
Hard to believe he's been here and been playing for 4 years, but he can play. I'm shocked he's been there the entire time. Yeah, dribble has a matchup with a bigger man. Simmons has to come over and help off of Van Komen, and that's his trouble for Ohio down low.
He's 14 for 17 at the line this season, make it 14 for 18. Rare miss. Bobcats with the ball back up by 4.
Ohio needs to stop. Marshall's made their last 3 attempts.
Kelly, baseline, rocks the rim with the foul. The freshman's fired up. He's in double figures for the second straight game, and Ohio leads by 6.
Marshall gives up a huge orbit motion to Kelly to loop around to the baseline, runs in, gets him behind Van Komen, who can't save it. Too late for him to get there, and Ohio gets a 3rd foul on Marshall's big man.
Kelly 6 for 7 at the free throw line this season, make it 7 for 8.
6 straight points for Kelly.
Elijah Elliott checks in for Kelly and gives him a big smile on his way to the bench.
I don't think any of us knew what we were getting from Kelly when he was recruited, when he came here. I mean, Jeff Bowles obviously knew, but like Pennsylvania basketball is not amazing. You know, you don't say to yourself, he's going to be amazing. He fits immediately. He's playing immediately.
Kelly coming off the season high, 14 points earlier this week. Heads to the bench right now with 12. Offensive board for Marshall. Second chance opportunity, and Spear's going to make you pay.
Finally does. Completely clean look from outside from 22. No one in the vicinity.
Back and forth we go. High-scoring second half. Pavletsky steps back, misses the 3. Elliott offensive rebound.
More possessions, more of the time.
Ohio resets. Pavletsky drives. Looks for a cutter. Instead takes it himself and hits the jumper.
Yep, he knows the big man's going to give him space, so he backs off and shoots over him just enough. A lot of DJ Cooper there, making yourself smaller by getting further away, but it worked.
Step back 3, Ochuti on the other end. Clangs off the left iron. Offensive board for Marshall once again.
Cannot give those up. They've been minimal tonight.
Spear, mid-range jumper. Friendly roll, 56-52.
5 quick points for Spear. En route tonight, he has 7.
Hadaway. Middle of the paint.
Yeah, working on Fricks there. Can get a foul on him.
Just misses the little jump hook. He can't believe it didn't go down.
A little flat, but he's been so hot tonight. Heat check.
Spear coast to coast. Marshall back within 2.
And all of a sudden, Spear's the best player on the floor.
Sheldon, transition 3. Got it.
Needs that. His confidence needs that. His teammates' confidence in him needs that. Good look.
Ochuti to the bucket. Scoops and scores. Back and forth we go. We're not even 7 minutes into this second half, and we've already had a combined 41 points.
Yeah, this is Marshall pace under D'Antoni. This looks a lot like Marshall 3, 4, 5 years ago is what it does.
Sheldon tries again. That time no good. One there for an offensive rebound for Ohio. Marshall the other way. A three can tie, and Pawelecki commits the foul.
Yep, way down the floor, way before any shot.
And this is the under 16 timeout. We had gone a while without a whistle. We head to the timeout. Ohio up 3, 59-56. The freshman, J.J. Kelly, making an impact here in Athens. Taking a look at our game summary as we get back here to Athens. 13:26 to play in this game, Rob, and neither team has really missed in this second half.
No, it really hasn't. You've been high efficiency, a bunch of points here in the second half. For Marshall, a lot of bench points. The starters are all back on the floor, but a lot of bench points so far tonight. Marshall out rebounding Ohio. You'd expect that with 7-4 on the floor, though he just got his third foul and exits again. And this second half explosion. Marshall shooting 70% from the field. Ohio close to that 64 since we came back from the break. Ohio's made their free throws today. That was mostly an early on thing, but they make them because Marshall makes them at a very high rate. You've got to keep Ohio around 75-80 to be square in this game.
Marshall ball out of the timeout. Dubinsky, Ochuti, Hugie, Van Komen, and Spear, the five on the floor for the Thundering Herd.
Surprised Van Komen went back out there with three.
For Ohio, Connors, Elliott, Pawelecki, Kwani, and Breath. Spear, three from the top. Misses short. And we get a foul.
They're over the back of Breath, I believe.
See who they call it on. They're going to give it to Dubinsky.
Yeah, Breath had great position there in front of Van Komen, who kind of swiped it over his head. Didn't commit the foul, but Dubinsky came in low. Again, Breath is a little more physical with Van Komen as you watch him individually. I like a lot of what Breath does. Hasn't shown up on the scoreboard much yet, but I like him as a grinder.
Brett today, 5 points off from the free throw line. Few rebounds. Pawelecki takes contact and drills the floater.
Face up there and driving toward the basket is kind of rare. Often have a set shot or a hook shot from mid-range. That time with Vector going toward that south basket.
Pawelecki so good at kind of creating contact and finishing.
Good first step, and again, not a lot of contact from Ochuti, but he gets called for it.
Free throw. Up and good. Ohio back on top by 6.
Needed that. Ohio needs to stretch that thing back out, shoot some free throws, which have been very good today.
Each team 22 points in the first little over 7 minutes of this half as Ochuti dribbles it off his foot. Ohio gets it back.
Yeah, he was as surprised as anybody, but again, it's kind of an own turnover. That's an unforced one. It's odd. Marshall has a very high percentage of their turnovers being on steals, but Ohio's really not forcing action on them a ton in that way today.
Both teams have turned it over less than 10 times. Bobcats 8 turnovers. Thundering Herd 7 turnovers.
Got Kier Kwani out there for Ohio on the backside of this offense.
Pawelecki, step back, thought about a jumper. Here's Connors, hits Breath, and he gets fouled on his way up.
It's a good look. Connors to Breath. I like that tandem. Honestly, would like to see Connors play a little bit more. Ohio's hit some threes today without him on the floor a ton. Good look. They get Spear there for his second foul for Marshall. Fouls have not been the problem for their lead guard today.
Free throw up and good.
Breath can get better from the line. Again, he's going to get a ton of reps probably in this league. Shooting from the line, 6 of 9 right now for the day.
Second one short. He gets 6 of 10. 60% isn't bad for him.
No, again, he's a fully formed product. He's an old man in college basketball terms now, so he's not going to get markedly better, but he's got to hit a few.
There's a jumper from Ochuti. Long 2 in the corner. He's got 14. That paces the Thundering Herd today. And Pawelecki traveled.
Yep, that's a tough make. Tough make for Ochuti. And Ohio just cannot have unforced turnovers. Ohio's starting to grow on. That's turnover 9 for Ohio. -2 on the turnover stack to Marshall.
And Marshall's done a decent job at turning those turnovers into points. 9 points off turnovers.
Ochuti's got some makes of late. Again, he's consistent. He's double figures in 6 of their 8 games. Now 7 of 9.
Deep 3 from Dubinsky. Pinballs out. And we get a foul on Breath on the floor. He can't believe it.
Yeah, Van Komen looked like came through him or over his back in essence.
And that'll take us to a timeout. Maybe we can get another look at that one when we come back. Bobcats by 5. 11:49 to play in this game as Breath has a conversation with the official. We stay close here in Athens. Just under 12 to play. We'll be right back on ESPN+. Get all of ESPN College basketball all in one place with the all-new ESPN app. Unlock with the ESPN Unlimited plan or log in with your TV provider. Basketball's here. Football's finishing up. Exciting time of the year across the sports world. Ohio by 5 here in Athens. Let's send it down to Lucy near the Ohio bench.
A big run for both teams in the second half, and Coach Jackson is composed and calm. The last time out before this one, him and his players having conversation on strategy, and these guys know how to keep that composure under these bright lights and in these close games. It's one of the things Coach Jackson loves most about his 9 upperclassmen transfers on the team, that they've, quote, been through the fire, meaning bright, loud environments like the one here at the Combo.
Yeah, you said it, Lucy. He talked to us about that before this one. Chatted with him yesterday. They turn it over out of the inbound, though.
You know, Marshall's senior heavy, and they're old in college basketball terms.
Pavletsky, tough fadeaway right in front of his bench. 16 points for the senior. Bobcats by 7.
He takes difficult twos, and rarely do you say that was a bad two. And I know no one takes mid-range twos anymore in this era, but he knows where to pick his spots, and you wake up and he has 20.
Kawani jumps the passing lane. Bobcats come the other way off the turnover.
Consecutive Marshall turns.
Breath. Works down low on Fricks. Spins, and a block by Van Komen. We get a whistle, and they're going to count it.
Absolutely, that's a goaltending. Weak side help from Van Komen comes late. Ball would almost reach his apex, or maybe it had. Officials think it did.
Corny Jackson over on that Marshall bench doesn't like the call.
It's close, but it's just so obvious when the big man comes over late like that. A lot looks like goaltending, and when you're that big, you stick out.
They're going to look at it.
Yeah, probably should. I said apex. It's right in that area. As it started to come down, is it at the rim height? Give that a look. Up, yeah, that's above the rim, at least from our point of view. Again, that's an up camera. It's a camera above us, so it's a little bit of an angle, a little bit of a slant, but my guess is that's over. I'm not sure I don't think we have a lipstick camera to look at that's essentially rim high behind the glass. It would definitely tell you that.
Yeah.
This is going to be close, though, this handheld from the other end. Yeah, well, yeah.
It's closer than I thought.
Yeah, agreed. His timing was pretty good, but when you're already that far up, yeah, ooh. It's pre-glass. I don't know if it was at its apex. You're right, this is close. Good judgment by Van Komen. If you're going to try that, he has timing nearly right.
A little under 11 minutes to play in the game. Bobcats by 9. They haven't had a lead larger than 12. That 12-point lead came with 3 minutes to go in the first half.
Just amazing what a 7'4" does to change everything on the floor. Even if he's not aggressive, just a guy with that wingspan, that ability to spread out, changes what you do, at least what you perceive you can do with the ball.
Transfer from Elon. He had 75 blocks at Elon last year. That was a single-season record. Shot 72% from the floor with Elon last year. That was a single-season record.
But understand, this guy has been playing college basketball. In college terms, he is very, very old. The first game he played in D1 was for Utah in the winter of 2019-2020 season.
Yep.
There's an LDS Mormon mission or two in there in the mix. He's been at several stops. Guy can obviously play. When he went to school the first time in 2019, I believe he was the tallest player in D1 at 7'4". He was a legit 7'4" then. One of these guys who got his growth late, though.
2019.
Yeah. I mean, when we're all living through this like post-COVID environment where guys have seemingly got 6, 7, 8 years. I'm going to get 2 master's degrees because it's fun. I think those guys are mostly finally been squeezed out of the system in terms of football and basketball. Guys have finally run out of time. But he's one of the last ones. And obviously a lot of these guys from BYU, Hawaii, Utah, who's got on Mormon missions, you can be substantially older. Officials finally close to a decision here, but this one's a lot closer than I think anyone in the building thought it was going to be.
In one of those where if Both coaches are going to be upset. If
Regardless.
Yes.
Regardless what happens.
If this goes against Ohio, Bowles is going to be shocked. If it goes against Marshall, Corny Jackson's going to be shocked.
Verdict, Marshall's applauding. Marshall bench applauding, so yeah, we got the news early from them.
A wave off the goaltend, wave off the bucket.
Which should move you back to 65-58 once they update the official stats. Ohio executed, though, that was exactly what the Ohio players should have done. That's what Brest should have done. Go at the big man. Go at the two big men.
And Jeff Bowles just kind of gave a quick smile over to Corny Jackson. Again, Bowles an assistant when Corny played.
Got one on me. Says Corny was a bit of a handful as an undergrad, but he's grown up and does a great job. And is just a beloved local West Virginia guy from Beckley and has settled into Huntington very, very well.
I asked Corny what he thought of Jeff and his memories of Jeff, and just simply said that Bowles is one of his favorite coaches that he had as a player. And just thinks so highly of Jeff Bowles and what he's done here at Ohio as well.
Those teams he was on, those late 90s Marshall teams were so talented. Just like the ones at Ohio just never seemed to be able to get over the hump and win the league when they were in the MAC.
Yep. Fricks gives off Hollenbeck. Back to Fricks. Dumped down low. Van Komen got fouled.
Touch pass. Right idea.
And if you're Ohio, probably a good foul. Don't give up the easy
no,
dunk.
again, that's Connors. They're stuck underneath on the big man. Just prevent the shot or prevent it from going in. If you're going to foul on the big man, make sure he doesn't make it. Send him to the line over and over.
Both teams with 4 fouls in this second half. Van Komen makes the first free throw. Now 2 for 3 today, and now 13 for 19 this season.
Yeah, he's just 4 points in 18 minutes, 5 boards. He has not hurt you a lot if you're Ohio.
They get 5 points and 5 boards. We've got a 5-point game. 5s everywhere. Midway through the second half. Elliott. Top of the key, Connors. Thought about a 3, instead goes in and hits the floater with a little bit of contact.
Good work by Ohio, scoring with kind of a lot of second unit on the floor. Now, a lot of starters are off. I think Jeff Bowles will try to get him to the under 8 with a lot of second unit. I want to see Connors be more aggressive with his offense and right there face up. The second big man, Van Komen, gets out of the way and just clears it for him. Hit that shot from 10 or 12.
That's 4 fouls on Fricks, too. 4 on Fricks. Van Komen with 3. Connors' free throw rolls off. Averages 5 points a game. That was his first bucket. Transfer from App State.
Frick's a lot more important offensively right now to Marshall than Van Komen.
Lead back up to 7 for the Bobcats. Spear, deep 3. Banks, no good. Offensive board for Marshall, and Fricks lays it in. Pretty pass from Spear. Lob up top. Thundering Herd within 5.
A rare offensive board, but another make for Marshall there as Frick stays on the floor, at least for now.
That's now 10 offensive rebounds, 12 second chance points for Marshall. Bobcats have just 5 offensive boards. And the bucket's going to count. We got a whistle off the ball. The 3 counts. Everybody was kind of confused.
Yeah, Marshall's not clear. Hollenbeck said that was on me. Who got that? It was.
And all of a sudden, with 9:25 to play in this game, that puts Ohio in the bonus as well. Next foul, I should say, will put him in the bonus.
Yeah, it goes back to that. Hollenbeck was essentially trying to fight over a screen to get to Connors. And fouls Kier, I believe, is what we're doing there. Officials now explain to Corny Jackson.
And Ohio gets the ball, too.
Yeah, and that's so essentially a double possession, 3 plus the ball. And Ohio's making some changes. Kier gets off there, and some of the starters back on for Ohio.
Hadaway works on Hugie. Backs down. Kick. Sheldon. Right wing 3. Got it. He's hit a couple in this second half. He's got 8, and Ohio's lead back up to 11.
Big make there over top of Van Komen.
Ochudy right away draws a foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
If nothing else, Ochudy's aggressive. He's going to bring the action, try and draw some contact. He and Spears have been better at that here in the second quarter as their three-pointers, their set shots aren't hitting, and they've been inconsistent with their guys in the post and all this foul trouble.
Sheldon matches his season high with 8 points.
Maybe this helps, again, with his shooting confidence. A couple nice makes today in addition to his defense.
First free throw misses short from Ochudy, who's an 80% free throw shooter.
That is the third foul in breath, the first Ohio player in any real foul jeopardy right now as we're about to go into 9 minutes second half.
Second one up and good. 10-point game.
Yep. Ohio's finally lifted and separated and stretched this thing back out a little bit. Now they need to stack a few more stops. Ohio's made their last 3 shots. For Ohio, mostly starters out there right now.
Sheldon, Kelly, Hadaway, Pavletsky, and Breath.
Yeah, breath for Simmons right now.
For Marshall, it's Ochudy, Hugie, Van Komen, Hollenbeck, and Spear. Breath drives, takes contact, layup no good, high up the glass.
That's his instructions, go right at Van Komen right now.
Spear, crossover, lob, slam, 8-point game.
And that's actually doubling off of the big man. Van Komen had the easy dunk there because Breath stretched out, tried to take on the ball as well. Stop the ball.
Bobcats shooting 53% today, 50% from 3, 9 of 18. That's what's been missing from this offense.
Absolutely. And another.
Sheldon fired up.
It's A.J. Sheldon day. He needed one. He's got one. And Ohio's got to figure out the 3, and they finally are today.
Sheldon's got 11. It's a season high. Hugie spins. Layup misses short.
Don't rush. Getting stuck there. Getting gummed up on the left side. Got to move the ball if you're Ohio.
Sheldon got it poked away, and he'll let it roll out of bounds, and that brings us to a timeout.
Good period, good inning, good win of a smaller war, as Jeff Bowles would say, to get this lead back to 11.
Bobcats by 11, just under 8 minutes to play here in Athens. Try to pick up back-to-back wins for the first time all season. Find out if they can. Coming up next. Bobcat huddle probably a little happier than it was to start the second half. They lead by 11, Rob, over Marshall, and despite the fast start for the Thundering Herd in this second half, Ohio's having one of their best shooting days of the year.
Yeah, much better. Again, second half for Ohio, 13 of 19 from the field, 7 of 9 from 3, which means you're 6 of 9 from 2, which means you're getting easy makes. Bunch of assisted field goals, minimal turnovers by both teams here in the second half. But Ohio, led by 6 at the half, has added 5 to lead, 36-31 second half, finally stretching this thing out.
And this is the pace that Marshall likes to play at, fast pace.
Exactly, it's fast paced with a lot of makes. And Ohio, I think, has wanted to play fast a lot of this pre-conference, what I call the preseason, but they've not, frankly, made enough shots to really want to be in one of these games where you're headed for 85 or 90 points on each side. Today, Ohio looks like a team that is confident to play at 85 points and do what they're doing. They've done it very well today. Again, rebounding, you're -6, but you've gotten away with it. You're even on turnovers, but you're going to the line. You're shooting a better percentage at the line and from the field, and well from 3, 10 of 19 for Ohio from 3 versus 5 of 19 for Marshall. That's out of character.
Ohio hasn't scored more than 85 points in a game this season.
Yeah. When Ohio's working, when it's fun, you have basically 4 to 5 guys in double figures. You've scored 82 or more, and obviously you've won the game.
Right now, Ohio 4 in double figures, and Simmons has 8.
Just 7 minutes ago, I'm not sure how you don't score 95.
Sheldon again, deep 3. Thought he got hit on the release. Ohio with the offensive rebound.
Yep, Simmons back into the game now. He's very, very fresh. He's taken a lot of the second half off.
Here he is. Short jumper. He's got 10, making 5 in double figures.
Stretches it a little bit. A mid-range 2 from the Pavletsky catalog.
Touch foul on J.J. Kelly.
That's fine. He defends a lot. He's going to get a bad whistle some nights. Tonight he's got a great whistle. Just 1 foul.
Both teams now with 16 fouls, so we'll be shooting free throws the rest of the way.
Yeah, this game could get really long all of a sudden.
Yep.
Tipped up. Another turn.
Simmons the other way. Finds Kelly. Reverse layup. Just didn't know where he was. Lost it. Joseph on the other end. 3 misses short, and we get a foul on Hadaway.
Did he push Van Komen, who kind of fell into the photographers there and pops right up? It's just hard to stop Van Komen in that he doesn't stop on a dime. He's a semi-trailer. He does not stop quickly.
And that's what Hadaway was saying.
Yeah, he didn't. He wasn't. That wasn't a violent play. He wasn't trying to push him, obviously, out of bounds. But like, he just doesn't stop fast.
Ohio has their largest lead of 13 right now. Van Komen, a quiet 7.7 boards this evening.
Yeah, he's been off the floor a lot. 21 minutes.
Fires and gets a friendly roll.
Incredibly friendly. That north rim has always been soft, at least that's what the players always think. They've thought that for 30 years. Yeah, behind there. Hadaway clears him out, but like literally, that was a very soft shove, and he went a long way.
Second free throw, nothing but twine. Ohio ball up by 11.
Just the first foul on Hadaway, so he's obviously got room to play, room to defend here in this second half.
Pavletsky off a screen.
Yeah, trying to drag Spear through a screen. Everybody crowds around him. Ohio's got to keep the ball moving.
Simmons a 3. Misses long. Rebound Hollenbeck of Marshall. They can get it back to single digits.
Yeah, deep in the clock there. You'd like to got a little better shot.
And with how quick Marshall plays, they can come back from double digits quick.
Exactly. A little different matchup. Hadaway over on Van Komen had been a switch off Simmons.
Hollenbeck just long. Offensive board for Joseph. Goes right up on Kelly and earns 2.
Pretty straight up, but Kelly was inside the semicircle there. And you're a freshman. You're not going to get calls yet. Just a reality. Again, Kelly's going to be a really good defender today. He's already a pretty good one.
Joseph, a freshman as well, averaging 6 a game in his freshman year. He had a season-high 22 at Virginia earlier this year.
Virginia is not the Virginia you remember. They have a bunch of pace now. So that game got a real high scoring, and there was a lot of time at the end where Marshall's reserves played, and he played a ton.
Splits the pair. 10-point game.
High a little short of points since that last make by Simmons.
Here's Simmons. Goes right at Van Komen. Blocked.
Double came from Fricks, but pretty late. They'll keep the ball. Fricks could not keep it in bounds.
And Fricks thought it was out off of Ohio. He kind of let that go at the end.
Yep, he thought it was off of Simmons. Simmons was looking a little frustrated there. Now with the ball back, he's got to put his smiley face back on and get ready for this possession.
10 points on 3 of 7 for Simmons today.
Short clock.
And Pavletsky
didn't need
drills
it. Needed a second and a half to get that off.
Pav's got 18.
Seems you can always create that space at 13, 14-footer, and no one's going to challenge him.
Spear, quick trigger on a 3, no good. Offensive tip back for Van Komen, misses.
If you're Marshall, you want him to dunk that back. It's right there. Why is that a tip? Why is that a soft play? Why aren't you throwing that down?
The 2 seniors for Ohio today, Pavletsky and Hadaway, each with 18. Pavletsky for 20. Yes, sir.
Consecutive makes, and again, right there in that painted area, Mac logo is where he lives. And Corny Jackson wants to talk about it.
Timeout, Marshall. Ohio's got their largest lead of 14. Jackson Pavletsky with 20 or more for the 3rd time this season. And Ohio with another good run here in the last couple minutes.
Yeah, pulled it through. Marshall's missed their last 5, hasn't scored a field goal in 3.5. And for Ohio, you've gone on a quick, we'll call that a 6-3, but it was meaningful because you came off a swing with a bunch of fouls of your own for Ohio, scored the ball a couple times. And Van Komen had a chance to put another 2 up there on a dunk and just couldn't get it done. Ohio's not had control of a game like this over Marshall in a long time. These last few years have been tough, especially the runs to Huntington.
Pavletsky with 20, Hadaway with 18, Fricks and Ochuti each with 15. They're your leading scorers for both of these squads.
Yeah, Fricks you expect. Ochuti usually scores 12, plays a bunch of minutes, but it's rare he's the guy. But again, he's kind of been a blender. He's gotten to the rim a lot today. A lot of twos in that mix.
So Kelly with 12, Sheldon with 11 for Ohio.
Kelly's is such a nice new piece. He's really contributed fast.
Foul on the Bobcats.
Yeah, Elliott there. Couple fouls for him. Quiet day, 20 minutes, but scoreless. 3 boards. Missed a couple shots. Still trying to figure out where he fits in this new rotation. I think he's a guy, he and Connors are guys who can certainly earn more minutes.
Spear 1-1. Rattles it in. He's got 10. Jalen Spear in double figures for the 5th time this season.
Again, Marshall's a great free throw shooting team, 77 plus coming into today, top 40 in the country. So they've been able to get to the line. They don't go to the line a lot. There's a lot of set shots.
Spear makes both. Bobcats with the ball up by 12.
A little top pressure there outside. Another 4 drop back for Marshall.
Pavletsky gets a pick from Simmons. Takes it himself. Kick out Sheldon. Simmons to the bucket. Thought he drew contact. Instead, it's a block. Simmons throws it back out up top. Pavletsky. 2 in the timer. Does Pav realize it? Gets it off at the buzzer, and it rattles out. Offensive board for Simmons and a foul.
Foul swipe, and that's Joseph. He gives up the shot at the top, then drops down low, shows a bunch of effort, but fouls Simmons on the way back up. Joseph is a ball of energy right now. Simmons trying to recenter his chi or something, get it back together. Emotional last couple minutes on the floor. And he will go to the line. He's thought he could have gone to the line a couple times against Van Komen last couple possessions. Joseph just out there for Marshall, trying to cause some havoc, try to create something, some defensive energy.
How about Simmons today? Had 7 assists all season. He's got 5 today.
Yeah, no, he's been made into a passer today, and he's fed Hadaway, he's fed others. Again, I don't think he has to go average a double-double for this team to be good. He just has to contribute and be generally mistake-free.
Free throw is home.
You know, Hadaway's gotten the benefits, I think, on the scoreboard, but he's had to play a great game in order to make Fricks and Van Komen average, or frankly not very good in some sorts of this game, to stress them defensively.
Second one rolls off. Eric Harding back in the game for Marshall. He hasn't played since those 5 minutes in the first half.
No, got those very, very quick fouls. Scored 3 baskets quickly, then got fouls very quickly.
Joseph flirts with 3.
And they can't forget him, as they did early on.
Harding underneath.
Better recovery.
On Hadaway. Hadaway's defense has been good today. Shot blocked by Simmons.
Blocked a 3 as Joseph tried to fade left there. That's not the shot Marshall wanted. Freshman 3, the clock wasn't that low.
Hadaway pumps up the crowd on his way back down on the offensive end.
Marshall hasn't hit one in a while. And off the ball, Ohio's going to have an advantage there, I think.
Yep. Bobcats in the bonus. They'll get free throws out of the timeout. 3:27 to play in this game. Ohio 83, Marshall 70. Simmons playing some defense. Rejects Joseph beyond the arc. And the Bobcats 3:27 away from back-to-back wins. Final 3.5 minutes of this one. Bobcats lead the Thundering Herd 83-70. Gabe Genovese alongside Rob Cornelius. Lucy Schaefer doing excellent work down there behind the benches as well. And, well, Rob, Marshall has gone cold.
Yeah, super cold. And you know, you look at it, no field goals for the last 5 minutes, 2 of their last 10, all of their last 6. Jeff Bowles talks a lot about this concept of winning time, which is roughly now, the last couple segments of the game. And if you have a lead, you got to hold it. And if you're close, you got to build one. And Marshall got a little closer, but now is back out to 5 possessions of 13 points down, 3.5 minutes. The clock now probably their biggest enemy. And Javen Simmons going to tuck in his shirt and maybe get another 1 or 2 at the line for Ohio. Brief wardrobe malfunction, now fixed.
1-1 for Simmons. Earns the second.
Earned the bonus, as they say here in the PA voice of Lou Horvath here in the convo.
Double figures now for the 7th time in 9 games.
I'm really good at the line today. 6 of 7, 4 boards, 5 assists, then a make.
And you talk about a critical aspect of Mid-American Conference play for Ohio. If Simmons is going, obviously you're not going to be this good every night, but all of a sudden he finds himself 7 of 8 at the line.
Another turnover. Ill time for Marshall there, and Ohio can now run 20 seconds and give Jackson Pavleski the keys again.
Marshall scoreless in nearly 5.5 minutes.
Hadaway was so good early.
Hadaway to the bucket. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, pushes in on Fuqua there again. Marshall forced to play some down ticket, down the bench bigs. With the foul trouble there, so it's so late right now, I think you have to play everybody.
Hadaway had the first 10 points of this game, and then the first 8 points of the second half. He's gone on 2 really, really good spurts offensively.
So basically,
today.
he's good for like that first inning of the game, and then whatever the fifth inning, the sixth segment of the game, that first segment of the second half. Just brings the heat. Then now just trying to close strongly.
It's terrific defensively today too. Double for Hadaway. 18 points, 11 boards, make it 19 points, 11 boards. It's his second double-double of the season.
Yep, that's season high, career high earlier, 28 early on here?
And the 11 boards matches a career high in rebounds. This is
Sure
the third time this year he's had 11 or more boards. 11 boards on the money.
A.J. Sheldon trying to work through a screen and runs through the Marshall guard who's trying to escape him. Spear.
Take a look at this.
Pursuit there, and he actually got around the screen. Harding, I think, missed him, and he's basically looked like he rammed the back of Spear and kind of tripped him a little. Obviously not purposeful, but
16-point lead is the largest lead of the day for Ohio. 86 points, most points the Bobcats have scored this year.
what are they looking at in this? They're reviewing this foul, which is odd. Did I miss something? Saw that replay there, and he was coming around like a partial screen, or a screen didn't get much body from Harding. Yeah. It'll be a third foul on Sheldon. Obviously, if you're Ohio and you're up with a big lead, you don't want to stop the clock and let Marshall score with the clock stopped. But again, you're now in a 6-possession game, up 16.
Spear hits the first.
Ohio ends up winning today. They desperately needed this one, both in this series and just, again, get well. Because they give a chance now to get well most of the rest of the month here at the Convo. You're a week away from the game. Bonaventure up in Cleveland.
Spear hits both. Yeah, Ohio doesn't play until a week from today, next Saturday against St. Bonaventure.
Bona beat Buffalo today in a local interest game up there in Western New York.
It's a 5 o'clock tip-off in Cleveland next Saturday.
Back-to-back with, Ohio State, West Virginia. We did this one a couple years ago, I believe. Similar day at the ballpark.
Pavletsky, foul.
Spear is kind of standing still, thinks Pav bumped him, but yeah.
This game has become real stagnant in the last few minutes. A lot of whistles.
Yep. No. Again, Marshall still 6 minutes without a make. Ohio now 2.5 minutes without a make, but has gone to the line.
First one up and good. Paveletzky, 21 points on 8 of 13 shooting. Now 4 of 4 from the free throw line.
And understand, like, what it is he does. This is a guard. This is a small guy, effectively, in this game. He is now 7 of 10 from 2. So that's a small guy, a 6-footer, going to be 70% from the field from 2. And these aren't easy ones. This is a lot of mid-range. If you look at his shot chart, his spray chart, you're going to be like, that's a lot of 15-footers and 12-footers and stuff like that.
A lot of shots which some coaches today have completely taken out of their arsenal.
All you take are threes and ones. You're not allowed to take those. He's got license to run the team this way, and it usually works out pretty well when he's allowed to make good choices from 2.
Threes and layups is the game these days. And some coaches will say, hey, I've got 1 or 2 guys out there that they can shoot from wherever.
Yeah,
well,
who has a license? I mean, clearly is the license guy.
Paveletzky, clearly the guy for Ohio.
It's part of how he creates his space. If you crowd him in 2-point range, he's going to find a guy. If you don't crowd him, he's going to hit that 14-footer.
Wide open 3, misses long.
Whoa.
Fricks the rebound.
Marshall needs more urgency here. Clock is the biggest enemy.
Fricks corner 3, got it. And a timeout for Corny Jackson. Marshall back within 13 with 1:38 to play.
Pretty make. Again, the short 3 from that far right corner.
So Fricks now paces Marshall with 18 points.
Yep, 18 points, 29 minutes, pretty close to his normal average. It's a good look there. Yeah, the double. Sheldon came off of Fricks. Let Fricks take the shot. That's a make.
I'll tell you, in the early minutes of this one, we were talking about how Fricks was just off in this game. He really found a rhythm.
Yeah, figured it out. Started making a couple threes. Ends up again being 6 of 9 from 2, so got his high percentage stuff, 6 boards. He's really maybe their most important piece. He's a guy who's a rarity now, 4-year player here. Wasn't clear his freshman and sophomore year he was going to be a thing, but last year and this year he's been tremendous.
Double figures for the 5th time this season.
Yeah, you can see how he does it. 34 versus Elon, half the shots with threes.
Sheldon breaks the press, gives it back to Paveletzky, and no foul or anything.
No, they're not fouling
Marshall.
yet. It's back off in a little bit of a zone. Pav is trying to run down clock here and shorten this game.
Elliott finds Simmons. Little floater misses short.
Right look from Elliott. Simmons just didn't drop there from the corner of the free throw line.
Oshudi, mid-range jumper. 11-point game. And the clock kept running after that make. Should have stopped right away. So they'll check the clock real quick.
Timekeeping. Fix that. Yeah, Oshudi gets you a lot of these mid-range looks as well. And he's been higher usage today than he normally is. 17 on 7 of 10 shooting. It gives you a lot of that Pav feel in terms of the shots he selects.
He averages 12 a game. That's 3rd on this Marshall team, but Oshudi's been very good today. Paveletzky gets out of trouble.
Out of the triple, yeah. Now then we finally will foul, perhaps, Marshall?
Or not.
Or not. About 30 seconds after the shot clock's elapsed, but Marshall's going to white flag it, it looks like.
Pull up 3, Paveletzky.
Ooh.
Misses.
A lot of glass. A lot of glass.
A lot of glass.
It's fine. That will be on the banquet tape. It's fine.
Oshudi gets fouled with just under 27 seconds to play.
And as much as he plays, the minutes he plays, and the defense he plays, and again, you're look down, he's going to be a 36-minute guy with 2 fouls today and 22 points.
Yep.
You could make Jackson Paveletzky your player of the game about 8 out of 10 games here at the Conroe. Most of the time, he's in the discussion.
Go with a few today. Had away
absolutely.
with the double-double.
Well, what do we say? When Ohio's working, when Ohio's scoring 80 and winning games, you have 4 guys in double figures, sometimes 5. And that's exactly what you're looking down at. Pav 22, 19 for Hadaway, 11 for Sheldon, 12 for Kelly, 13 for Simmons, who had to play minimum minutes today. 22 minutes for Simmons. Like keeping miles off the tires there.
Shooty hits both. He now leads Marshall with 19 points today. Pavletsky in the backcourt. Throws it up ahead to Sheldon. Give Hadaway. Now Simmons. Ohio backs it out. Marshall chooses to foul with 12 seconds.
Spear really wanted to send Elijah to the line where he will try and get his first points of the night.
Elliott, a guy who averages 5 a game. He's 3 for 4 at the charity stripe this season. Missed that one short.
He's got so much potential. So much potential. You've seen flashes of it last year. Again, this first month for him, he's been dealing with a back issue. But sometimes he does things that you just are disbelievable in practice. That is not normal for a first or second year guy in this league.
Just a sophomore. Missed it strong. Empty trip to the line. Still a 9-point game. Ochuti will go and they'll give him the layup. 7-point game, 88-81. And does Corny Jackson call timeout?
Ochuti with their last 6. This game's going to look a lot closer than it was. 3 possessions in 5 seconds, but all of a sudden Jeff Bowles has got to play this exactly carefully just in case.
Yeah, Bowles was upset about something.
I'm not sure what he was looking at. The foul moments ago.
So, clock stops, 5.2 seconds to go. I'm not really sure why Corny called the timeout.
No, I'm not either.
Ohio could hand the ball right to them, and there's
correct.
Not
right.
enough
That would
time.
almost be a workable strategy. But with both the double bonus, 5 seconds. But yeah, I don't know what we're necessarily scrapping over right now. But I think Ohio would like to have had this been in the teens. It's not going to be. But a big needed win for Ohio. I think this is kind of an even matchup if you put it into the computer, put it into the Ken Palms or any other services and said this is going to be a tight game, regardless who won it.
And the Bobcats put up 48 in the second half.
And that's more what you want to see. Again, you want Ohio to show flashes, show that 100-point game or close, and 50 and a half is a really, really nice place to be. Show it's possible. Ohio has not shot well enough to deserve to score 50 and a half so far this pre-conference, this preseason, and today they absolutely did.
So Ohio ball, 5.2 seconds to go. Bobcats up by 7. Inbound to Pavletsky. He'll hold on to it. And he's just going to let the clock tick.
Nope, didn't tie him up.
That's the ball game. Ohio 88, Marshall 81. The final. Ohio improves to 3-6 this season. Marshall falls to 5-4. Thundering Herd have now lost 3 straight.
Yeah, tough stretch with them. UNC Wilmington, refs did them in with a bunch of fouls today. Ohio did them in with a big offensive performance at home, needed for Ohio.
For the Bobcats, 5 in double figures, including Aiden Hadaway, 19 points, 11 boards. He's our Fairfield Inn player of the game. Hadaway coming up with his second double-double of the season and deserves the player of the game.
Yeah, it really does. And again, you can call his name a lot of times here at home, but we'll get Jeff Bowles first here in just a moment and prepare and discuss this Ohio win.
Yeah, Lucy down there with Jeff now. Lucy, what you got?
Hi, guys. Coach, congratulations. This win marked your first back-to-back all season and a really impressive shooting performance. What was clicking for you guys tonight?
Yeah, I thought, last game was a good stepping stone for us to come out and have the same type of effort level today. It was really big for us. We got to keep building on this, and other than that first 2.5 minutes of that second half, I thought we played really good.
Aiden Hadaway had a phenomenal game tonight with a double-double. Tell me about his value to the team.
Yeah, he's really good when he's inside-out presence, rebounding the basketball for us, and just really proud of our guys for the effort.
Congratulations, Coach. And I've got Aiden right here. Congratulations. Tell me, did you do anything in particular to prepare for tonight? You had 19 points, 11 rebounds.
No, I mean, I feel like the whole team kind of prepared like the same way. Just our effort had to get picked up from our last few games. So, yeah, just everybody's effort was just there tonight.
How are you and the team going to take this energy into the next matchup?
Hopefully with the win. That's what we need. All we need is keep stacking wins. No more losing streaks.
Congratulations. Go enjoy that win.
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks to Jeff and Aiden for joining us as well. Again, Aiden, our Fairfield Inn player of the game, and a performance that the Bobcats needed today, Rob.
Yeah, great way to close out the semester. Last game of the semester, you got your blue book, you took your test. Aiden Hadaway and the gang passed it with flying colors today. A-, maybe even A work, and a big win over Marshall. You needed this one. Bring the series back. Great look for Ohio against that 80-mile rival.
Bobcats against St. Bonaventure on the road in Cleveland next Saturday. Marshall plays Western Kentucky Wednesday at home. That's a 7 o'clock tip. For our entire crew today, again, thanks to Harrison Warren, our producer. It's his last game, and Grant Stevens down there working our camera 4. Appreciate him for all his efforts over the last 4 years as well. For everybody else on the crew, have a great weekend. For Rob Cornelius and Lucy Schaefer, I'm Gabe Genovese saying so long from Athens.